Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to kdjTV. Welcome back to the channel. Today, it is everybody's favorite series. Maybe? No one's ever told me it's not their favorite. It's time for the 10-Minute Mailbag. The 10-Minute Mailbag is all about MLB The Show, and right now, MLB The Show 23. We answer your questions, your pressing questions, anything you leave in the YouTube comments that I find even remotely interesting, or that might be helpful to the rest of the world. I answer those questions in depth in this 10-minute series. It doesn't always work out this way, but this week we kind of have a little bit of a thematic episode, and I think it's good. I think it makes sense kind of finishing out 23 and heading into 24 to talk about this. We're going to talk a little bit about the market, how I go about obtaining certain cards or waiting on certain cards, and just general strategy for how to have stubs in your bankroll early in MLB The Show 24. So please, right now, before we move on, right this second, hit the like button. I've been told if you hit the like button, a little celebration of things happen on the screen. Comment down below if you ever have any questions at all that you would like me to answer in next week's mailbag, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because that means I'll have a giant smile on my face. Alright, I am going to put 10 minutes on the clock, as I always do. Before I opened up my stopwatch, I accidentally opened up my calculator. Let me know if you've ever done that before. I feel like that's a thing that happens. I don't know why I'm an idiot and do that. But we're going to put 10 minutes on the clock, and we're going to get to question number 1. So in 3, 2, 1, we're schmoving. Our first question comes from Mr. Extravagant. I just realized you can make way more stubs off buying gold equipment items and reselling them than you can with regular, like just normal player cards. It's not really a question, I just thought it's interesting. Has this always been the case, or am I crazy? So, it's interesting to talk about. I have an example here. Here we have some gold batting gloves. I have 2 of this one. You can sell it now for $5.98, which is a lot more than it costs to get. So, yes, selling equipment items, gold or diamond, is generally speaking a very profitable way to flip. Generally speaking. If you guys don't know about ShowZone's card live market price updater flipping helper, showzone.gg. That'll help you with determining which are the best cards to flip, whether it's player cards, equipment cards, ritual cards, perks, whatever. The reason some people don't enjoy flipping equipment is because it takes longer. Flipping player cards, because everyone's trying to complete live series collection or do exchanges, flipping player cards is faster. So the payoff is greater in the long run. But if you're just trying to be very passive when you're flipping, just trying to do it here and there, boost up the bankroll as you can, buy some gold equipment. Now is a weird time of the year to do that, potentially. Because I don't know how many people are actually buying equipment. Like, I'm curious how long it's going to take for that batting glove to sell. Not that I need the 598 stubs, just for an example. Can't speak. But yes, selling equipment items, you mentioned specifically gold, but I will just tell you across the board, flipping equipment items is profitable. It just takes some time. Early in the year, I think it's probably best to do the equipment flips then, because some people, if let's assume caps are back in 24, I hope they're not, but let's assume created players are back, people are going to try to make their caps beefy and yummy. So they're going to buy equipment to put on those players. That would be diamond equipment, not so much gold, but still the point applies. So yes, flipping equipment, great way to make stubs. Just takes some time. So Mr. Extravagant, thank you very much. Our next question today comes from Tony Mata, Tony the Tiger. He's got a lot of things going on in that name. I'm a fan. Any tips or advice for the market / cards as of right now? It's my first MLB Diamond Dynasty, and I'm sitting on 1 million stubs. So welcome, Tony, to both this channel and Diamond Dynasty. So it's hard to give tips on the market right now. Flipping right now is not really a thing. And card prices right now are weird. For example, I meant to go into set 2. A lot of these diamond duos are cheap. 15,000, 17,000, 11,000. You could just, he's free because he's an XP boss. But then this, I think, was he a World Series card? No, Alfonso Soriano, Battle Royale. He's down to 125,000 because the packs, the flashback packs. Nolan Ryan was a World Series card, 50,000. That's so cheap. But then you have cards like Sandy Alcantara, who was one of those weird kaiju thingies that just randomly appeared in standard packs. You can't get those anymore. He's 351,000. Another example, I believe they're set 2. If not, they're set 1. I will go find them. They might be set 1. Fuck, they might be set 3. Hold on. We're gonna find them. They're set 2. Set 1. These captains, I am stupid and did not buy them when I should have. That's entirely on me. 151,000 for the Grizzled Vet captain. You cannot even buy right now the Roy Halladay East Division's pitching captain. So the market is strange right now. What I would suggest, if you're new to Diamond Dynasty and just trying to get a hang of it, I would target cards like these guys. These Diamond Duos are these easily attainable players. Like James Paxton is perfectly fine. He's not great, but he's not terrible. You could buy him now for $22,550, which is not a big investment, and then you get yourself a viable starting pitcher to have some fun with. Mike Lowell, he ain't bad. Eric Davis, he ain't bad. Prince Fielder, cheap, not bad. Like, you could build a pretty damn good team, I'd say, from scratch, assuming you had nothing. 200,000 Stubs? That includes bullpen, bench, like, maybe a little more, 250,000? You said you had $1 million, so that's fine. You know, playing the market right now is tough because it's the end of the year. There's fewer people playing. There's fewer cards, therefore, being circulated. And at this point in the year, people who've been playing all year, they have what they want to have. So, like, the market is just not as active. But if you're starting entirely from scratch, there are plenty of players here you could target for cheap. This Clayton Kershaw's really good. He's $15,890 if you put it in order, or you just buy it now for $25,000. There are a lot of guys. This Aroldis Chapman's one of the best lefty relievers in the game. Arguably the best. If you want to splurge, $61,000. Very, very affordable. So you can do it. Playing the market next year, we can have more conversations about that because I think it's worth a conversation to talk about flipping and whatnot. But for right now, that's my suggestion. So, Tony Mata, Tony the Tiger. I like your name. I like your question. Next, from, I don't now know exactly how to pronounce the first part, so Scope. What's up, Scope? I just got into the game 2 weeks ago. Welcome. If I wanted to become as good as possible before MLB 24 drops and have a chance of going flawless in Battle Royale, what would you suggest I spend the next 2 months doing? My timing is getting a lot better, but I'm having such a hard time judging the vertical position of the pitch. My advice to you, just specifically because you mentioned Battle Royale, for the next 2 months, play exclusively Battle Royale. If your goal is to go flawless, get used to all-star pitch timing, get used to Battle Royale draft strategies, get used to how your opponents pitch. Play the hell out of the mode you're trying to be best in. If you're trying to, get used to, you said you're good at pitch speeds right now for All-Star, right? Did I read that? I did. Yeah. So, now it's just about pitch recognition. Be patient. The best thing I could tell you about patience in Battle Royale, really patience across the board, but specifically Battle Royale, as a 20 times flawless player, pat myself on the back, thank you. One pitch, one spot. If your timing is getting better, it is highly unlikely that you will get blown back by a fastball in Battle Royale on All-Star. It's highly unlikely. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. With that being the case, pick a location in the strike zone. Doesn't matter which hitter you're using. Learn your tendencies. And don't swing at anything unless it's in that zone. Or you have 2 strikes, obviously. The key there is to pick that pitch and fucking obliterate it. Honestly. don't miss the pitch you're sitting on or the location you're sitting on. If you want to get so hyper specific as say, I'm only going to swing if it's a fastball up and in versus just up and in, that's on you. I prefer to just sit location and I adjust on speed. But I've also been playing this game for years. You just started. Pick a location. Don't miss it when you get it. That's my best advice I could give you. Don't stop playing VR. Get used to how it works, and you will go flawless soon. Thank you for your question, and best of luck. Finally, from Mike down the line, what's your process with What's your process with picking cards from packs early on or throughout the year? Do you pick ones you just want to play with or have the most luck, or do you want to finish off collections as soon as possible? So, I know I don't have a lot of time. My strategy from day one, my first card that I purchased off the marketplace for the last 2 years is Mike Trout. Live Series Mike Trout. Just because he's been the most expensive. Next year it might be Shohei Ohtani. I don't know. I don't purchase a single card until I'm able to purchase the #1 Live Series card. Not even for me to use, just for me to get him in the bankroll. And then I just chip away. Down the list. Most expensive, most expensive, most expensive, most expensive. I open every pack I get day one or the first couple weeks, and I sell everything except the diamonds. Unless I can get an insane value on a card that I know will be cheaper later on. I sell just about every big stub reward. Event cards, sell them. BR cards, sell them. Sell. Because I want to complete Live Series first. I want to get that out of the way. Then I want to move on to the rest of the game. It's very hard to do like 100% completion card collecting in the beginning of the game cycle because of how I do that. But I know I'm able to go back and get the cards later. That's just my personal strategy. Of course, there are some exceptions. Like this year, when I unlocked Munetaka Murakami, I did not sell that card. I really was excited to use him. I used him. I had fun with him. But mostly across the board, I sell everything early on. And then like this year, I think I had Mike Trout within like 4 days. And that's without any absurdly lucky card pulls. It's easy for me that way. That'll do it for this 10-minute mailbag. We answered a lot of questions about like bankroll and marketplace and stuff like that. I like those questions. They're different for me, but I hope they can help you. So let me know what you think about that, and let me know if you have any other strategies that I didn't talk about. Thank you all for making it to the end of this video. I hope you guys have a killer week. We are so close to MLB The Show 24 news. I can taste it upon my tongue, and I can't wait to talk about it with all of you here. So thank you guys again. Hope you have a great week. See you next time.